let's talk about some guys who are on the bubble, but who have impressed in this last preseason game and prior to that as well. But one guy in the wide receiver room who showed out against the Giants, had 60 yards receiving, and then got our lone touchdown in the last game and has been impressing at camp all summer as well. I'm talking about Chase Cota. This guy has really come out of nowhere, and I love it. Tom Kennedy got hurt, so that was bad news there. But this guy could be the new Tom Kennedy. He shows sure hands. He can return punts pretty well. He had a nice return there in the last game. But I think with his performance and the way that in his performance in the last few games and also what he's been doing at practice, I see Chase Cota making this team. Now, it's going to be a battle still. But we got to remember that Jameson Williams suspended for the first 6 games. He doesn't take up a roster spot during his suspension on that 53-man roster. They don't have to put in a designated spot for Jameson Williams because he's suspended. It's not like the IR. So that's good news right there. We can use that for somebody else, like a Chase Cota. But yeah, Chase Cota, I haven't seen him drop hardly anything, if anything at all, in the games that he played. And with JMO being out, typically NFL teams take around 7 receivers on the 53-man roster. And if we were going to take 7, this is who I have right now. And forgive me if I forget somebody. But this is who I have, minus Jameson Williams for the first 6 games at receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones Jr., Khalif Raymond, Antoine Green, the rookie. I have Dylan Drummond and Chase Cota making the roster. Now, you could make an argument for Maurice Alexander there, especially after his explosive return that he had in the first game, but maybe they just keep him as a return guy anyways and keep 8 wide receivers on the roster. I have no idea what their plan is. But regardless, it's going to be a battle there. That those last 3 that I just mentioned, it's going to be a battle between Drummond, Cota, Maurice Alexander, Trinity Benson might make a case for himself. It's going to be a fight there. But I do see Chase Cota making his way onto the roster, especially for the way that he's been playing as of late. Now, one more guy I want to talk about before I get back into the comments, who shined in this preseason game, who's on the bubble, but I think has a good chance of making the roster, especially after the last game. I'm talking about Steven, not Stefan, but Steven Gilmore, the younger brother of the all-pro cornerback, Stephen Gilmore. He's out of Marshall. He's another undrafted free agent cornerback that we may have hit on. I thought that he played great in this preseason game against the Jags. The first pass that he had on him, he did, get beat. It was a deep pass for a lot of yards. But I don't think when you watch the tape, I don't think you could have played that any better. Like, it missed his arm by centimeters. His arm was in there. I don't know how the receiver caught it. It was a great catch, but it was also very good coverage by Steven Gilmore to make that. He didn't make the play, but that coverage was right there. He was stride for stride with him. Great play, great throw by the quarterback, great catch by the wide receiver. But then he comes back after getting beat, and he saves a touchdown on a 50-50 ball in the end zone, swats it away. Good on him. And, of course, last but not least that I'm going to talk about, he gets the gift from Tracy Walker of an interception. Tracy Walker should have intercepted it, kind of bobbled it around, tipped it right to Steven Gilmore, and he intercepts it. Makes a little return. No matter what, great awareness to be right there. But I think this kid had a great game. He made other plays, just the ones that I just said. But, he's undrafted, out there fighting for his position and playing well. And I hope that he makes this roster. What better guy to learn from than your older brother, all-pro Stephon Gilmore? I know that they're talking. I know that they're training in the offseason together. He's given him all the pointers to succeed in the NFL. So I think it would be a good move to hang on to the younger brother of Stephon Gilmore, Steven Gilmore, especially because he had a good performance in this last game. I hope they give him another shot next game. I hope he shows up. I hope he makes the roster. I don't know how many cornerbacks they plan on keeping, but I hope that he makes it.